Hello, welcome back. Tonight I will talk about King Paimon. It is a book, a grimoire that I have written called King Paimon, Lord of the Endless Silence, the Lord of the Abyss. It is a large book, a grimoire. A grimoire is a specific type of book that deals with magical beings or supernatural beings. It is somehow a cult book, meaning that it has a higher type of knowledge. And of course, for the subject himself, King Paimon does carry those elements of magic or ceremonial magic or supernatural abilities. He is a genius, a gene in that way, and the work on the book was quite interesting because I worked very diligent on it, and I finished it in 3 months. It is a large book, around 700 pages, and it tells the story of King Paimon, his past, and it is very beautiful because it has King Paimon talk. I always, when I write my grimoires, I let the subject talk because I'm interested in their vision, in their wisdom, in their intelligence, in the things they have to teach us. I've written the grimoire of King Paimon, the grimoire of Buea, the grimoire of Lerage, the grimoire of Gusion, the grimoire of Citri, the grimoire of Osmodeus, and I'm still working on other grimoires. They are all inspired from the book of King Solomon, Ars Goetia, or the Lesser Key of Solomon is called, and where he describes 72 spirits of the Ars Goetia, and all of them, King Paimon as well, and all the rest are part of this of this book of King Solomon. And today I would like to speak about the elements of shadow work, correlated to the element of darkness, shadow, or light. And my recordings are a way to connect to the energies and wisdom of King Paimon. I always have him in mind while I talk because he's the one who gives this wisdom to me, the one who guides me through these elements of darkness as well, because everything that one searches is still in the dark. It has not been found yet. So it is almost like the mind is the guiding light, and the darkness is the unknown, the potential, the things that have not been yet discovered, or things that are, the meaning of occult, hidden. So, moving further on, when we speak about the shadow or shadow work, well, it has quite interesting aspects because the shadow element, it can be a dangerous element because, the darkness, of course, too, as well. It's very heavy, it's dark, it seems difficult to navigate, through the fact that it is dark, or the light in the same time, it reveals, or we believe that in the same time light is the one which reveals, but in the same time the darkness too can reveal. So the dark and the light, even they seem opposite, are actually symbiotic. They carry the same energy, they carry the same particles in the same way. They say, well, they are the opposite of each other, but they work so well together, they are similar, they're very similar, So, well, the light can reveal, at the same time dark can reveal as well. Not to say that the dark is the opposite of light in this meaning of spiritual knowledge, But the shadow, it's a little bit different because the shadow is combined from the dark and the light, But it's more difficult to navigate, or more difficult to define, because it's a shadow, it seems a little even more magical to that point. And when we talk about shadow work, it's almost to say, well, there is a clearing that has to be done, We say, well, in the shadow, or in the shadow work, the element of the light are almost say like taken from the shadow, and the element of dark, they are separated, they are made clear. So when one does the shadow work, which is a very important aspect of spiritual ascension or spiritual cleanness, no, or spiritual advancement or spiritual understanding and knowing, and there is this element of the shadow which combine themselves to more darker aspects or more heavy aspects or more aggressive aspects of oneself, or even more destructive as they look in the first hand. But I will touch a little bit more on that. What's the purpose of it and what it actually does. And the light aspect, no, is well, the light aspect can be as dangerous as the dark aspects, or the dangerous or the dark aspects can be as good as the light aspects, no. So how to explain? The dark aspects of oneself, no, so we carry inside us the darkness and the light, and the darker aspects are aspects who are very powerful, first of hand, very it can be described as anger or rage, or you feel this tremendous power inside, or there's this heaviness, is more dark, you go through very strong emotions, no. But that work that one does through the so-called shadow work, it clears that out. It allows that to come out, of course, in a safe way, because shadow work is done by oneself. It doesn't include the other, and it is an aspect of clearing those emotions. In the same time, it's very helpful because those are the aspects that clear your way, or clear your psychic, or clear your soul, or empower your soul. You take charge, you take your power in your hands. So it's a very strong emotions, but at the same time it empowers you, And the light aspect, some to say, well, the light aspects of, I don't know, let's call them being good, being nice, being sweet, and so on and so forth, can create rage as well, but it is more like hidden, no? If one lives only through those emotions, it's quite dangerous, because one can first taken advantage by others, or you don't know your own power, or you don't know your own soul in a way, no, because we have to accept we are both we have both inside of us. So the shadow work, no, it's say, well, I go in those elements of the shadow where it's not clear where the dark aspects of myself are and the light aspects, and through the clearing of that shadow, by separating and somehow the dark and the light help themselves. Sometimes the dark sides come more strongly, and then the light aspects are more tranquil or more accepted in your own self. It's more like they are not opposite. They work very well together. So the shadow aspect gives you that power that you have lost through the light, through giving others or being gentle or sweet and so on, but somehow closing your eyes to the dark aspects of yourself, no? And then they are able to be integrated in that shadow, or cleared out from that shadow element. Because the shadow element is that, who I am, no? It's not very clear. You almost like if the shadow has particles of the dark and particles of the light, through the shadow work you clear that the darker aspects and the lighter aspects, they are both cleared. And then they can both coexist in a more balanced way inside of you, no? It helps very much in your life, no? To balance your emotions and to balance yourself, and to regain that power through the darker elements, and at the same time tranquilize them, or help, calm the lighter aspects. Because if somebody use only the light aspects and never do shadow work, or never go into the more dark aspects of themselves, of the harder emotions, they experience negative things, or they can experience even some type of injustice, or for them not feeling well, because you don't feel empowered, or you don't feel balanced, or you pretend to be calm and sweet, but inside of you there is a rage, there is a element that tries to come out, So the shadow work, it's like a soft plane, or a soft energy change, to say, well, the dark elements which are inside me, balance my light, and the light aspects of me can be felt safe and embraced by my darker side as well, or protected by my darker side. It elevates one, every shadow work or shadow process that one goes through. And there are different ways that one can do this. Sometimes the darker aspects come more aggressive out. It can be felt, some type of anger. You speak, you let that rage out, or those harder emotions, or the fact that one is upset, or a little more like hard. It's like the harder shell goes off, but it is a little painful, or it is a little uncomfortable, or it is, you let the soul cry that out, but then after it balances one, and after it moves slowly into the lighter aspects, which already have been changed through the darker elements of, accepting those, or letting those feelings or elements coming out, or being expressed. So I'd almost say, if we think of two hands, we say, well, we have the right hand, which is one aspect, let's call it the light aspect, and the left is the dark aspects. It's even in prayer they come together. There's the element of left and right, this a form of the balanced self. In many religions we see the many different religions, from Christianity to the Buddhism, they have different this combination of the two hands coming together in union, in this symmetry, or they have even different movements of the hands, like different mantras or different mudras through the hand, that somehow is able to elevate the soul. It works even on the mental plane. So King Paimon wants to say that the work that one does through the shadow, it does bring you to a certain type of door, and it does transform you in a better, more empathetic and sympathetic person as well, because you're able to understand others through that duality, and you're able to calm yourself. The body learns it after a time, to integrate those two different aspects, or the plus and the minus. It's always in the alchemy, it's always the transfiguration or the transformation of opposites. Sometimes they are able to exchange place. The plus takes the minus space, and the minus goes back to the plus. And even if it seems it's just an exchange, at the same time it brings one to a certain level that is more healthy, or more definitely more balanced. There is a certain higher plane that one reaches, and it does reach a certain type of enlightenment as well. So this is one aspect. Through the shadow work, at the same time, they say that even dreams are in a way made, or sometimes they help to balance those aspects of ourselves, the let's call the dark elements, or fear, or whatever, elements that are a little heavy or more difficult for the psyche or for the soul to carry. They are somehow balanced through the dream state, through the dreams, and it rejuvenates. It helps the soul to calm down, or it lives in a safe way out these fears, or these elements that through the daily life we are not able to reach, or we are not able to deal with, or we are not able to heal, or we are not able to point out. So the psyche always cleans himself, always the soul too as well, always works in bringing this to a certain type of equilibrium. And another thing that can help is the same colors, or therapy, or colors, or the sunlight as well cleans the darkness, so and the light works on the dark works on the light. So actually they work very well together. That's why I always like to combine these two elements and say, well, they work so beautiful together. There is such a beautiful harmony in these two very distinct, very different qualities that we experience outside of our world and inside of us as well. And at the same time, one can protect himself from certain outbursts, you know. Say, well, maybe if there has been a lot of more darker emotions kept for a longer time inside, the outburst or the element when they come out, it could be a little, you know, or it is in general a little more heavy or more drastic, but one can learn then to, there is a certain point that one doesn't have to do it anymore, or if you do it more often, it is very little and it can recalibrate itself very easily, no? Through the spiritual shadow work, there are even elements like taking a bath with salt that cleans out, you know, or taking care of your body, you know, that too is cleaning away the shadow, using perfume, having, you know, good smells in the house, being clean. There is an element of cleaning the space, no, it cleans, it brings those darker elements outside, it cleans, no, it helps that well too in that shadow work, no, or having people around, no, that we protect ourselves from the negativity of other people, that we are able to understand those who are good for us and those who are not, and to you know, close some doors or close some relationships of people who bring a lot of negativity in our world, a lot of pain or a lot of sadness or a lot of things like that. One has to somehow learn to protect him or her's peace and tranquility and mind and soul, no? There is this element of, well, how much can I take, how much I'm willing or able to give to others. In the same time, when you love somebody, in general you reach them with a light, and if that person doesn't love you back, no, there's this darkness or this then it can affect very much, because you are more in an open, in a more light position of love, and the dark elements are able to enter or to disrupt that even deeper, no? So one has to be careful. That's why the darker elements in oneself are the same important as the light elements of oneself. Because they say, yes, I have that light, I have that love, I have that sweetness, I have the purity, I have that more light elements inside me, you know, but I need those dark elements of mine to be able to resist, or to be more strong, to be more brave, to cut out, to close out things that are not willing or willing to meet me halfway, willing to do me good, no? So one doesn't have to do necessarily shadow work in the meaning of I have to put myself through these two duality or to these two very different elements of myself, but I think it's helpful that one understands at least how the dark and the light are both beneficial. They are both working together now to protect us, to guide us, to help us. And it is a little sad because always the dark or the darkest, or when we speak about dark in that meaning, it's always, or most people see it as evil, or the dark, rage is not good, this is not good, you know, and say, well, of course, both elements of dark light have qualities, but they all have qualities, no? Very important qualities, but if they are used in the wrong way, it's going to be toxic or it's going to be bad, no? So, well, let's give an example. You see somebody getting unfair treatment, something bad happens, no? You cannot stay in your light element and smile and offer love, because you have to act, you have to use more your dark elements to stand in a position to protect, or even yourself, no? If somebody is too much into the darker elements, no, and not accepting the light, not accepting the goodness and the healing part of the light as well, it can be very destructive, no? So both, that's why even in those quality of the dark and light, one has to find balance in those elements. and then how both elements work together as well, to understand that the dark protects the light, and the light clears the dark and heals those elements as well. And the element of light, like if we think about the quality of light in general, light is healing. So just imagining in an area that maybe there's pain or discomfort or something, you can use your hand and imagine like a light coming through your hands and reaching with love that area, and you hold it there and you pour it there, you heal that part of yourself. It's very soothing, it's very helping, the touch of hands. Our body are made of light. We have our light body, which is our energy. It's part of our aura as well. To say, well, the body has like a white angelic aura first, and then the colors too. And you say, well, if we combine all those, it's going to be dark, because the dark is the one who protects our aura, all the colors around our energy field, where we have our light body, which is made of light, and then is the aura which carry the colors, and even in painting, one knows that if you combine all the colors, you receive black. You will get black. The black is the color. Let's say they call it not a color, but it is. That contains all the colors. The color black is very potent. It's very strong, and in general we use it in less doses, because how strong it is. And the light element is. It's very pure, it's very soft, it's very healing, it connects one to love, to purity, to sweetness, to gentleness, to healing, to many things, but the dark as well is the element who carries the the strength, the power, more the fire elements as well, or saying no, standing in your position, being brave, those are more harder elements, but the same important as well. As I said, one has to develop those parts of himself and see their beauty as well, to accept them, integrate them inside. So one is not unprotected or not able to take stands, not have that power or the dominion or that those elements of strength or of ambition, but of course in a healthy way, but through the shadow work those elements come in balance. So it is a disruption. You feel that anger, you feel that rage, maybe you say some bad words and so on, but it doesn't matter, because it just clears out the energy field. Maybe there are some energies coming around which are not good, and through that rage and through that the more dark elements, it protects you, it clears that away, and then once they are gone, you can relax in your more lighter elements. So pretty much the shadow work, it's element of rebalancing those two aspects, or even protection, for your space, or for your persona, or for your own soul, So one has to be careful when we deal with people who are not our friends but pretend to be our friends. There is even in the Bible the story of the sheep who the wolf pretends to be a sheep, because even in the light elements, you say, well, this person looks nice, shows me kindness or smiles to me and try to understand me, and they are my friend, but actually no. So you say, even though the light elements, it seems it is a light element coming, but it's actually a dark element transformed as light. They say the evil part of the dark and light, because dark and light, they are not evil, but the evil aspect is manipulating the energy, to say, well, I have bad intention, I'm dark, but I'm going to pretend I'm nice. But when you're when you have spiritual knowledge, you immediately see it. They are not able to fool you, and sometimes it takes some experience in life that we go through to be able to see those those tricks, that manipulation, no? And say, well, they have they mistreat the dark, no? To say, well, they want to use the dark elements against me, no? But they pretend or they disguise it as light, so I accept it, no? So we have to be careful what we accept in the light as well. That's why you have to develop your darker side as well, and say, well, I am aware what's happening. I know how to stop it, no? Energetically as well. So King Paimon always say, well, it's always a question of how, when, and what. No, one has to learn to discernment, not to have the discernment, and to have the power as well to close around us anything that we feel that it is not for our benefits, or that it is especially a manipulation tactics, and one can be so strong and so resilient in their own power and force, knowing who you are, that they cannot, they make a fool of themselves when they try to do that, and they have no effect on you, no? That's when you say, I have mastered my shadow, because I'm able to understand the shadow. I'm able to transport what is negative, what's positive, what's dark, what is light, and I see if they try to manipulate it, especially in the shadows, no, of the spiritual meaning. Or say, well, the attack is made in the shadow, no, because it's, well, it's not really dark, it's not really light, it's more confusing, it's more in those elements, things can become a little bit more dangerous. So for the shadow work, integrating those two elements of dark and light, accepting both as two divine helpers of your own being that you carry inside you, and you have to honor them both, integrating them, using them both, in a healthy, balanced way. And then when you have that inside you, you are able to distinguish in others. Not to say that, this they didn't do, it's not to blame others, no, but you're able to distinguish if others come to you in this manipulation form of, dark and light, because the world is made through duality. So one can pick up very, very fast if there is some type of manipulation done, no? Which is very helpful as well to decide in life, or to be able to simply understand and know what's happening around. So and they can even try to shame. Sometimes they send some type of shade. They can even make it with a smile, no? Say, well, they pretend they are in the light, but they're so nice and so smart and so sweet. They can even pretend they are friends, or we're interested in you, we are this, we are that. But in the discussion or in the interaction with them, they will send you some shadows, some little attacks under, to say, to make you question your worth, or question who you are, or just make you feel bad, no? So they somehow rule over you, or they will try to make you feel like, well, maybe I really don't deserve, maybe I'm not good enough, no? It's just you have a discussion with somebody and you go there, you just have a bad taste, you just know it. Well, that's them throwing shadow, no? We say not darkness, shadow, no? Which is more difficult to clarify, no? But you don't have to clarify, it's the trick. You just recognize it, observe it, and you don't have to do nothing. By not reacting to it, it has no effect on you. But you observed it, you distinguished it, what happened, and then it doesn't affect you, no? Actually, it gives you even more power, it gives you even more strength, no? But for that, you need the dark elements in you as well. If you go through life only with the light element, others will steal your light. That's what's happening. If the black elements offer the protection that you need, the shell around you, that's the plan, to take away from the light, so they bring it to themselves, so they feel better, they feel, they're smart, they are more enlightened, no? When they are not, because every person who try to manipulate or make others feel less than, it's a very low vibrational person. That's why they need the light, because they don't have it, they want to steal it or take it or manipulate it from others. But they cannot. That's why the dark elements of your own being are so important, King Paimon says. So, well, King Paimon is a king. How you think a king should rule? Just smile all day and say yes to everyone? No. A king knows when to say yes and knows when to say no. And a king will read any person that stands in front of them, no matter what they say, no matter how they say it, no matter who it is, no matter what and how and when. He will know. He will read from that shadow. He's able to read the shadow. He's able to understand the intention behind every glance, every spoken word, everything that is said, and more around it, no? So it's like, well, a true king is covered by shadow, by the element of the darkness, and he will meet you with that element first and say, well, there is a stand for you to reach my light. I'm not going to let you reach my light, because I'm a king. I have to protect. I am a protector. If I cannot protect myself, I want to protect others. So his aura is dark. King Paimon is surrounded by darkness. He is the Lord of the Abyss. He has dominion over the darkness, over the power of that element of darkness. No, you say, well, it is the intellect mind as well. No, and say, imagine a heart that has no protection over that light that they carry. No. So one has to understand those elements. It's almost like a ball that is forming. And so, well, it is dark on the outside, but inside it protects all the light. It is something beautiful. Not to say that the light cannot come out, because it does. The dark and light function very well together. It's not that the dark blocks and the light cannot come out. No. And say, well, the dark simply exists, but the light, we see it in our world as well. When the light comes in, the dark opens up. No, the light is more powerful, of course, but that's what I want to say, that they work very well together. One should not distinguish them as something so separate from each other, and I cannot accept my dark side, or my dark side, I'm scared of it, or I don't understand what shadow work means. I was trying to explain as much as I can, as good as I can, for others to understand, because it is part of spiritual knowledge as well, no? In the correct understanding what I want to explain. King Paimon say, well, the dark and light are friends, no? They hold hands. The true light should not be scared of the dark, and the true dark should not be scared of the light. And those, in the moment that they are balanced, they function together. They are brothers and sisters, no? They don't rebel against each other. They don't try to fight each other. They don't try to separate each other in that way. They are already separated through their own origin, through their own function, no? But they work very well together, and it is a beautiful union, no? That we carry in ourselves as well, or is part of our world. As inside, outside, no? There is what we find, the elements we find in ourselves as well. There's like a mirroring on the outside, meaning that it can be, the meaning can be understood on both sides, no? And King Paimon wants to say, well, this is all what we can say at this moment for the dark and light. We can move on to the aspects of the colors, because the colors too are very important. We are not only the dark and light, we carry the colors as well, no? So, well, there are many different colors too as well, and that one can use in spiritual or ceremonial magic, or in general, no? Even by visualizing a color, no? To say, well, if I want to attract something, I can probably use the color red, but I have, with the colors one has to have a little bit more sensitive type of awareness or understanding what exactly I want to attract, no? So, well, maybe yellow, no, because it's inviting, it's warm. Maybe red is a little too strong, no? At the same time, red too takes attention. It, very much connected to the fire, no, with the warmth, but it's a little more aggressive than the yellow. The yellow is more warm, more inviting, more open. It carries more light. So to understand the lights, you have to understand how much light one color carries and how much dark. No, say, well, if I take yellow, if I make it more light, it almost goes to the white, and if I make it more dark, it always goes a bit more to the red, to the orange, to the red. No. More deeper red, and so on and so forth. So there are different nuances as well with this. when, of course, light and black, it's very clear, you know, light is light, black is black, but of course combined create an element of shadow as well. What else? Well, the space between as well, no? So, well, if one wants to be very inviting, in general, it's more like the space is like white, you know, it doesn't care necessarily certain colors or black or something like that, no? The aura is just open, white, normal, everything like that. But it doesn't mean that the element of the darkness are not inside, are not aware of that, no? So I think that's quite a balanced way to think about it. To say, well, I don't have to put myself in this darkness, you know, to show that I have power. King Paimon said it's not true power, because finally a king has to be open to everything that's around him, so he has to carry the light around him as well, for him and others, but his darker aspects of himself inside are hidden, but they're very strong and they're there, no? And if somebody will come to a king very aggressive or very much in the darker elements, no, we say, well, that's the wrong approach. That is not going to bring you. It is not going to give you the results. It's not going to have the impact that you want. Or sometimes, if you don't want it, it can create this impact that it's not going to work out, you know. So one always has to, King Paimon said, one always has to think of the intention of what the result one wants to have. What is the idea behind it? No, so well, a king is able to read that, to say, let's see how a person approaches me, how they talk to me, how they, how they honor me as well. No, so well, there's a certain type of mirroring that the king is able to understand what is the truth, you know, because we live in a world in general with humans that they speak, but not everyone speaks the truth. How I'm able to distinguish between truth and lies, no? And there is this beautiful story of King Solomon in the Bible where, I don't know, this story remained for me for always since I heard it, with the story where King Solomon had to decide between two women, which says the truth and which lies, because both came with a claim that the child, there is a child, that it's both of them. Both said, it is my child. The other woman said, it is my child. And how was Solomon able to distinguish who is the real mother of the child, no? And of course, in a very extreme example, King Solomon at first hand is not able to distinguish, you know, which is the truth, which one carries the light and which one carries the, let's call it, the dark elements, in this example, no? And he said, well, of course, it's a trick, no? King Solomon said, well, if you both cannot decide, then we're going to cut the child in both, and you both get a part, a half, no? And the mother, the true mother, screamed out, no. She was able to say, I will give my child, but please don't harm my child. No, she started to scream. She got upset. No, the dark elements came out of her to protect, to say no. And in that way, King Solomon was able to distinguish and say for 100% sure that that is the mother of the child, no, the one who protected that through her shadow, protected the light of the child. So, you know, and say, well, in King Paimon wants to say, in different situations, one has to distinguish when the light is correct and when the dark is correct. Both can be wrong. One has to distinguish when to use what and when. And it is quite an important aspect. I think it's very helpful for ourselves in general to feel more balanced and feel more at ease and accept ourselves and, you know, gain this power, because it is a power that maybe we don't use if we don't know that it is there and what it carries and how beneficial it can be for us. And we're able then to distinguish in others as well, no? To understand, well, is this person in the light? No, meaning, is it honest? Is it true? It doesn't mean that it does not carry the dark elements, no? It means that they have that inside as well. That's why their light is balanced. There is no, how how you say, well, there is this aspect, no? So, well, the dark camouflage himself in the light, no? That's mostly what happens, is that when we meet somebody new, everyone shows in the light aspects, the positive parts of themselves, and the dark elements are hidden, are not shown, no? And a person who has done shadow work and has accepted and balance those aspects of darkness in the same way, no, they will carry them both. They will be aware that they do carry both, no, that's the honest truth, and they use both, but in a positive matter, no, they don't pretend that they don't have the darkness and then only show the light, but actually they do have the darkness, and that's quite shocking and quite extreme when it comes out, because it's not healed, it's not, you know, they haven't done shadow work, they don't understand what it means, and they are taken upon those dark elements, no? They are more destructive and not able to control those elements, or they hide them for a very long time. It's not healthy for the psychic. When it's good to balance those two opposite forces. They are in some way opposite forces, but they are both beneficial. The light and those dark elements are both beneficial if one works through them, one accepts them, integrates them, heals that, no, part, and say, well, sometime in my life I have to show rage to protect myself, or I have to have some outbursts, you know, to clean my soul, or to balance myself, no, to put that heavy energy outside of me. And the best is by yourself, no, so no one else is affected, no. And sometimes it happens when you are by yourself, and it is a form of healing as well. Thank you so much for listening. I hope it was of help. If you want to check my books, I have my author page in the description box on my channel, my author page on Amazon, where I publish my books. The grimoires I definitely recommend. They're very beautiful books, extremely eye-opening, you know, different subjects as well, that works on the understanding of the psyche, or having new knowledge, having new wisdom, especially for those who have interest in this type of subjects. And just check them out. Maybe you can find one that resonates to you, and you know, you can read and you can expand your knowledge, expand your wisdom as well with the knowledge of the spirits of Ars Goetia, which I absolutely recommend. They carry a lot of wisdom, a lot of beautiful verses, beautiful understandings that can really, I don't know, really help someone, or really bring someone on a higher timeline or higher frequency, or just, you know, from the enjoyment of reading. At the same time, it does carry, as I've said, my books, my grimoires do carry a lot of scenes, a lot of information that you cannot find somewhere else. So they definitely deserve to be read, definitely deserve to be integrated as much as one can, no? We are all learning, we are all on the path of developing ourselves, or sharing with each other what we know best. No one is better than the other. We are all learning from each other, or learning from ourselves, from our own fountain of youth, or fountain of wisdom that we do carry. And we all have talents, we all have things that we can share, and I think it is a beautiful thing. That's why I write my books as well, because I, you know, like to share things with people, but in the daily life I don't share this side of me. It is more like a portal where I can really feel free, you know, through my books, to touch on subjects that really interest me, that really passionate me, that I have interest, or they inspire me as well in my life, towards a better life, towards a better understanding. So thank you so much for listening. Until next time, bye.